Welcome to Church School from Home. This week's lesson is on Elijah, and I have a few stories to read to you from the Read With Me Bible. We're starting on page 194, and we'll first learn about when Elijah is fed by ravens. Ahab became king of Israel. He did more evil things than any of the kings before him. Elijah the prophet said to Ahab, "I serve the Lord. There won't be any dew or rain on the land during the next few years." Then a message from the Lord came to Elijah. "Go and hide in the Kerith Valley. You will drink water from the brook. I have ordered some ravens to feed you." So Elijah went to the Kerith Valley. The ravens brought him bread and meat. In the morning and in the evening, he drank water from the brook. Elijah visits a widow. Sometime later, the brook dried up. A message came to Elijah from the Lord. He said, "Go to Zarephath. I have commanded a widow to supply you with food." So Elijah went to Zarephath. He came to the town gate. A widow was there gathering sticks. Elijah called out to her, "Would you bring me a little water? Bring me bread, too." "I don't have any bread," she replied. "All I have is a small amount of flour and a little oil. I'm gathering a few sticks to take home. I'll make one last meal for myself and my son, and then we will die." Elijah said, "Don't be afraid. Go home. Do what you have said. But first, make a little bread for me. Make it out of what you have. Then make some for yourself and your son. The flour will not be used up. The jug will always have oil in it. You will have flour and oil until the day the Lord sends rain on the land." She went away and did what Elijah told her. So Elijah had food every day. There was also food for the woman and her family. Elijah on Mount Carmel. Ahab went to where Elijah was. Elijah said, "You have turned away from the Lord. Now send for people from all over Israel. Tell them to meet me on Mount Carmel. Bring the 450 prophets of Baal." So Elijah is a prophet of the Lord, but many people are a prophet of Baal, a false lord. So Ahab gathered the prophets. Elijah said, "If the Lord is the one and only God, follow him. But if Baal is the one and only God, serve him. Get 2 bulls. Let Baal's prophets put one on the wood, but do not set fire to it. I'll put the other bull on the wood, but I will not set fire to it. You pray to your God. I will pray to the Lord. The God who sends fire is the one and only God." The 450 prophets of Baal prayed to Baal from morning until noon. "Baal, answer us," they shouted, but no one answered. At noon, Elijah began to tease them. "Shout louder," he said. "Maybe he's sleeping." So they shouted louder. They cut themselves with swords until their blood flowed. They continued with all their might until evening, but there wasn't any reply. Then Elijah said to the people, "Come here." He rebuilt the altar of the Lord. He dug a ditch around it. Then he said, "Fill 4 large jars with water. Pour it on the offering and the wood. Do it 3 times." So they did. The water ran down around the altar. It even filled the ditch. Elijah stepped forward. "Lord, answer me. Then these people will know you are the one and only God." The fire of the Lord came. It burned up the sacrifice, the wood and the stones, the soil and all the water. The people saw it. They cried out, "The Lord is the one and only God." Elijah goes to heaven. Elisha became Elijah's assistant. They were walking along and talking together. Suddenly, a chariot and horses appeared. Fire was all around them. The chariot came between the 2 men. Then Elijah went up to heaven in a strong wind, and Elisha didn't see Elijah anymore. The prophets were watching. They said, "The spirit of Elijah has now been given to Elisha." So I'd like you guys to discuss being a prophet of God. Do you think that Elijah had faith in God and trusted God, and he tried to pass that on to other people? So for our craft today, we're going to make a little door hanger to help us remember to keep trusting God, just like Elijah did. I've tried to keep it pretty simple with our supplies since it's hard to get out right now. All you should need for this is some paper, some white paper, or you could use any color you'd like as a background. I just gathered some brown to use for the wood and some red, yellow, and orange for the flames, and then some glue and scissors. You could also use tape. If you have tissue paper, that could make a really fun fire. However you would like to do it with the supplies you have would be great. And then you guys can hang these on your doors this week, and it'll be a great reminder to you to keep trusting God each time you enter your bedroom. Next week, it is already almost Palm Sunday, and Pascha is coming. So I have some extra lessons planned for next week that I will share with you. So stay tuned, and hope you guys are all doing well. Miss you all. Talk to you soon. Bye.